So guys, today we're gonna be talking about every family build that I can think of, and I'm gonna include them in this video to help people make their first build based on their family. But before we do that, I want you to like, share, and subscribe because I'm getting really close to 2,000 subscribers and you guys can help me get that very easily. Now at the start of the game, you're just a new player, you don't have enough skill points, so you don't really have to worry about anything. But as soon as you get enough skill points, you should go to the right side of the defense skill tree. Now the reason why you should go for the right side skill tree is because getting the defense perk slot is just a few skill points away. It will only take about 13 skill points, while the middle skill tree takes about 23 skill points to get the offense perk slot, and the left side of the skill tree takes about 27 skill points. After getting your defense perk slot, you should not focus on the middle tree because upgrading your ODM is more than enough till you get about Aberrant. So in the meantime, you can go for the left side skill tree and unlock your support perk slot, and then you can go for the offense perk slot. Now for the starter perk slot, you can get Fortitude because it increases your HP by 10. You can do the same for the rare, epic, and legendary because more HP helps you survive more attacks. Damage reduction not really needed, and if you have more HP, you can use the bronze family to heal yourself and basically be immortal. Also, quick note, any family skills appear right above the reset skill tree, which a lot of people don't really seem to be able to notice. Now for the support perk slot, you really don't need first aid because there's a high chance that as a new player you're gonna get the bronze family, and its potato skill is way better than the bandages. Now the best support perk slots are the gear series and Sixth Sense, and later on the mythic perk. You might not want to equip Sixth Sense because it will make your PC lag a lot. Now regarding the core perk slot and the offense perk slot, it's gonna depend on your playstyle, so we'll talk about builds right now. Now if you're using any other rare families other than Bros, you're already making mistakes because Bros is the best rare family in the game because Bros has a skill called Potato and it heals 30% of your HP. But keep in mind that you cannot heal your injuries because I've seen a lot of Bros players in my raids complaining that they aren't able to heal their injuries. But a simple way to cope with this is to basically get emergency relocation from the right side skill tree and go down the right side skill pad till you can get about Adrenaline, which ignores up to 2 injuries. Now what emergency relocation does is take 30% of your HP and heal 1 injury. You can reduce that 30% into 15% when you unlock Super Guts. Now emergency relocation has a really big cooldown of about 105 seconds, so you should go down the right side skill tree and get cooldown 1 and cooldown 2, and since you can't really ignore injuries, you can go down to injury 3 to reduce your injury chance by 40%. For the middle skill tree padding, use the left side of the skill tree and you can unlock up to Lethal Tempo. Now as a Bros player, what you essentially need to do is get as much HP as you can, and the right side of the defense skill tree gets you about 105 HP, essentially doubling your HP. Now regarding your perks for your build, support and defense are basically same for every classes, except you can change defense for Fearless Constitution. And for the core perk slot, just because it's called the core perk slot does not mean you actually have to use a core perk. You can actually use an offense perk or another defense perk or another support perk. But if you want the best perks for the core slot, it's actually gonna take you a while because all the best perks are in the legendary category. The devs didn't make a lot of core perks for the common and rare. There's also not a lot of perks in the epic category, but they have made so many core perk slots in the legendary category. The best core perks that you can have are Perfect Soul, Perfect Form, Founder's Blessing, and also Indefatigable if you have an attack titan. Now for the best offense perk slots, I recommend any variation of these 3 perks over here: Carnifex, Unparalleled Strength, and Peerless Focus. Now obviously mythic perks are the best perks in the game, so make sure to equip them if you have them. Now most shifter families don't even have a titan right now. The only thing good about them is the shifter regen, which heals 55 HP and heals up to 2 injuries over time. It has a cooldown of 100 seconds, and with a decent cooldown build you can get about 60 seconds of cooldown reduction. It's a little bit faster than emergency relocation. Now for the most part of the right side skill tree, going down the left path will give you a 30% damage reduction along with a skill called Hardy Counter, which lets you escape a titan's grab and kill them in the same time. This might sound good, but Hand Grinder seems way more than enough to deal with that, so the right side might still be a good choice for any shifter family to last even longer in raids. Now how any reduction system in this game works is a bit different from other games. For example, if a titan did 200 damage and you had a damage reduction of 100%, the damage will be half. But if you have a damage reduction of 200, the result is not a 100% damage reduction. Even if you have a 500% damage reduction, you're still not close to about 0. With this in mind, I think having a higher HP is way better than having damage reduction. Zoe is a family that does not have any healing skills and also cannot become a shifter for some reason. So as a Zoe player, you're gonna have to focus on HP regen. So it's a good idea to go to the left side of the support perk slot and give yourself about 8% HP regeneration. Also, it lets you upgrade your bandage to Master Medic so you can carry 3 bandages, each healing 55 HP, and also some injuries. Go to the right side of the defense perk slot for Zoe so that you can get the desired HP that you want. The rest of the build will stay the same. Ryze is a legendary family and is a pretty good family overall for shifters. But as an ODM user, it's kind of a mid family to use, and you can swap it for any shifter family that you want because Ryze does not have any healing capabilities, and although its Conquer skill sounds very powerful in Aberrant missions, it's kind of useless in raids because the stun only lasts 5 seconds. As for the skill tree build, it will be the same as Zoe, left side support and right side defense. As for the memories, you're gonna need Life Feed, gain 2.5% of your health back per Titan killed. Over here, you should get Quake Strike if you are a shifter. For the last memory, you can get Flash Steps. For the perks, you can get any of these variations: Founder's Blessing or Legendary perk Indefatigable, or Epic perk Resilient, Offense perk Unparalleled Strength, Defense perk Fount of Vitality, and Support Gear Master. So far, every build has been the same, and you can change them if you want to be a bit weaker than the average player. Now, I don't have much to say about Jaeger because Jaeger is pretty much a Titan shifting family. And unlike Ryze, it actually has a healing skill. So now I'm not sure if he actually has 2 healing skills, Booster Regen and Shifter Regen. This will make you a pretty good family for raids if you have a shifter also. And also if you don't have a shifter. That means you don't really need to go to the left side of the support tree. Instead, you can go for the right side and get cooldown 1 and cooldown 2. And also the right side of the defense perk. Now, since Jaeger has a plus 15% critical chance, you can actually use Acromet build if you're worried that you're not giving enough damage. If you're an Ackerman, Shiki, or Fritz, your sole purpose is to deal as much damage as you can. The only problem is that Ackerman does not have the same survivability chances like Shiki and Fritz, because Shiki and Fritz can transform and Ackerman cannot. So you should be going the same build as Ryze and go to the left side of the support skill tree. And I know people want to go to the right side and get cooldown 1 and cooldown 2 and basically be an Ackerman that will spam your skills or fill up your rage bar, but your skills may not be as useful as it was before the raid updates, so you might need to get a lot of damage because that is way more consistent than doing using your skills on Eren. Yes, you have to use lethal tempo or swift strikes to get your rage mod on, but you can do that by just dealing damage through your ODM because skilled Ackerman's players can do that easily. As for the middle skill tree, if you go to the right side, you get an additional 15% critical chance and 30% critical damage. With the Ackerman's buff, 15% critical chance and the default 18% chance you get when you max upgrade your ODM gear, along with the perk Perfect Soul, you get about 58% critical chance, so half the time you'll be dealing extra damage. Now, if you do everything right in an Ackerman build, your ODM gear should reach about 210,000 damage. You can do this by rolling only ODM damage in your artifacts and getting the mythic perk Kango and equipping Unparalleled Strength in your other offense perk. Now, you have the choice of using Peerless Focus in your core perk, because core perk does not mean you actually have to use your core perks only. You can also get Perfect Soul, Win Rhapsody, or just get Peerless Focus if you want an additional 20% critical damage. Perfect Soul on the other end will give you 10% critical chance and 10% critical damage, and Long Wind 10% ODM damage. It's up to you which one you want to use. With the Ackerman Rage mode, you'll get an additional 20% critical chance, so you'll be at around 78% critical chance. So you'll be dealing mostly critical damage on Eren. Altogether, you'll be dealing almost 500,000 damage per hit on Eren. For instance, I have 133,000 damage and I almost deal 20% damage on Aberrant raids. While you as an Ackerman with this build will be able to compete against shifters. Fritz and Shiki users can also use this build as long as they don't have an attack serum. For memories, I think memories don't stack, so you can use gain 2.5% health back per Titan killed, and then in the other memory you can use Flash Tap, and on the third memory you can use Resilience if you want. There are some few minor changes in this build, so you might have to decrease your critical chance a bit by unequipping Perfect Soul and using Founder's Blessing and Indefatigable. And since you can't really use Rage mode in your Titan form, you'll only have a critical chance of 48%. As a Titan, your memory should be Life Feed, Quake Strike, and Resilience or Dash if you want. As for artifacts, you can choose which one will be damage based and which one will be skill cooldown based. On Crown, you can still get about 16% skill cooldown reduction, while on the Scarf, you can get about 15.5% ODM damage. With this, you might have a lower damage than an Acroman, but as a Titan Shifter, being able to spam your skills will outscale the amount of damage Acroman can do to Eren. So instead of going to the left side of the support perk, you can go to the right side and get skill cooldown 1 and skill cooldown 2. On the defense side, you can also go to the left side or the right side to get additional health. With this altogether, you'll be dealing almost 500,000 and almost a million when you use your skills. And that's it for the video. That is all you need to know about builds for every family. I've done my best, and if you think that there's more changes that you can do to this build, feel free to do so, and like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.